My next guest, you know who he is, Benito Lopez, who's coming off a UFC debut win over Albert Morales at UFC Fight Night 123 on December 9th. Benito, what's going on? How are you?
Good, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, but not as good as you, man. You got your first UFC win this time last week. Well, actually, this day last week. It was at night, obviously, the fight. But, man, congratulations on the performance. Just a really, really, really solid matchup, solid fight. Heading into the fight, were there any jitters at all, or did you feel at home? Because you look pretty good in the cage.
Thank you, man. It was a great fight. He was tough as nails, bro. I felt amazing in there, bro. I didn't have any octagon jitters or any of that. I don't believe in all that, I just had my mind just strong and just went in there and just lived in the moment. I was completely in the moment and absorbing everything. It was amazing.
How much did it help that you had that fight in the Contender Series and kind of, you were used to, fighting, at a higher level and everything like that? Like, did that sort of help you in this fight just with the fact you kind of went through that?
Honestly, it might have a little bit maybe, but I visualized so much. I know it sounds cliche, but I visualized so much that by the time I make that walk, I've already been there so many times in my mind mentally that it just seems like second nature. So it's just me reenacting what's already happened up here, So it's that helps me, honestly, more than the Contender Series or this and that. And just training with Team Alpha Male, the highest level guys. I see them every week. We got a guy fighting this week, Josh Emmett, for the co-main event. So, yeah.
You guys are everywhere. And then, you got Rick Glenn at UFC 219. Like, it's you guys are fighting every weekend, it seems.
Yeah, we have so many people coming up this month, bro. It's insane.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. As far as your performance, were you happy with it? I mean, I know you went the distance. You probably would have liked the finish, but it was a great fight. I think anyone watching definitely got their money's worth.
Yeah, thank you, man. Definitely not how I wanted to win. It was a war. It was exciting at times, but no, I'm always looking for a knockout or a submission, and I try to do it early on as well, but it didn't go how I wanted. But, I got a broken nose. You can't tell too much right now. But
I was going to say, I didn't even notice.
Yeah, no, after the fight you could have, but right backstage they cracked it back in. I had a cool little video on that. It's kind of nasty, but yeah.
Well, we'll plug all the social media stuff at the end so people can check out that video. But as far as your opponent, Albert Morales, was there anything that surprised you? Because I know you guys were supposed to fight well before the UFC, so you were familiar with him. But actually in the fight, was there anything that kind of surprised you?
Honestly, yeah, he hit harder than I expected. I knew he hit hard. I wasn't underestimating him. But his power was he was hitting harder than I expected, and yeah, he's just strong. I came in a little lighter than I would have liked to have been. It was the lightest I ever fought. I actually walked in the cage at 137, and yeah, it will never happen again. I've never done that. I fought flyweight once, my pro debut. I weighed 125.8, and the next day when I fought, I weighed 148. So that was, again, it was just messing things up on fight day.
Now, normally I ask, the fighters after they win, how did you celebrate? But there's a photo of you and Morales eating pizza. I thought that was so cool. How did that sort of come together?
Yeah, bro. No, we were cool. I mean, the beef, because we had drama before the fight leading up, as we were talking about. And we had a little bit of beef and drama, but midway through the fight, we both respected each other, In the third round, he ate a head kick of mine that was pretty hard. And I remember right after, I was like, man, you got a chin. I just said that. And then he, put his hand up to give me a high five, and we, gave each other a high five mid-fight. So it was dropped then, But afterwards, we just went back to the hotel lobby, and he was there, and he had a box of pizza. And I was like, bro, I'm about to do the same thing. And he was like, what? Here, man. Gave me a slice, and we just gave each other a cheers with a slice of pizza, None but respect. He's a warrior, man. And it could have went either way. It was a close fight.
Now, was there beef on the pizza? Because that would be really settling your beef, sharing a beef pizza, right? So.
Literally, yeah. No, there wasn't no beef, bro. No beef on the pizza, just nice, fresh pepperoni.
Where was the pizza from? Do you remember?
Little Caesars out of all this fun.
Oh, wow, okay. So nothing like, yeah, I figured something authentic or something, but no, it's okay. Little Caesars isn't bad, it's okay.
First UFC fight, that's what some of the comments were saying. You guys just got paid by the UFC and are eating Caesars. But I grew up off that, so,
There you go. Yeah, you're familiar with it for sure. Was there any feedback from the UFC after the fight? Because, again, you guys put on a great performance there.
No, there wasn't no feedback, really. I mean, they were just saying thank you. When I see them in the hotel, thank you, great performance, And
well, that's good. I mean, they could have just walked by and not said anything. I mean, the fact that, they were talking about the fight, I think that's a good sign. Now, what about social media? I'm sure you got a lot of feedback there just because, people are really into the matchup.
Yeah, honestly, dude, I gained 6,000 followers.
Nice.
Over after the fight, it was insane. Yeah, and I had a bunch of people. I still am going through messages trying to get back to people because I had a few hundred on all, and it's just been awesome, bro. It's been it's been what I've been imagining and picturing, you know. Now it's all happening, and it's crazy. It's insane. I love it.
So there's a picture of you on Facebook where you were attending, I think it was Uriah Faber's fight or something. You're outside the arena. I forget how old you were. Just tell people about that photo. I thought that was so cool where you're like, one of these days, I think it was your cousin or something was saying one of these days my cousin's going to fight in the UFC. And then sure enough, you just got your first UFC win.
Yeah, man. No, that was Aldo versus Faber actually in Sacramento at the Arco Arena. And I was there, and I've been a fanboy, I'm a fanboy at heart. So being in the hotel with these fighters, I was like, I'm one of them. This is crazy, I was trying hard not to get pictures, but honestly, it was surreal. He posted that, and it was like I was 14 at the time, going in there and seeing everything, and years later, being the guy making the walk and having Uriah cage side for me, and being there is, dude, it's a dream come true for me. And I'm on cloud nine. It's like still surreal, honestly.
What fighters did you get to meet last week? Were there any that you were kind of starstruck by that you got to talk to?
Yeah, I mean, a few of them, pretty much all of them, because I watch UFC so much, I knew all of them. But, like, I'll be honest, like, I seen Matt Serra, and that kind of got me, because I was young, and I seen him drop GSP, and he's just a legend. And he's an OG in the sport. And then Frankie Edgar, I seen him get off the elevator, and I was like, Edgar, what? I was like, that's sick. But I was trying not, I'm around a lot of UFC superstars already in my gym, So, but I'm used to them. They're like family. But when you see someone else, you're like, whoa.
Yeah, it's different. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, and this is sick. So I can definitely get used to it.
Good stuff, man. That's awesome. Now, as far as this week goes, I mean, we're about a week removed from the fight, like I said. How's training been? Have you been in the gym? Are you taking some time off? What's been this last week look like?
Yeah, well, my nose being pretty smashed, I can't do too much in the gym right now, like contact-wise or even grappling, because I might mess it up. But I've been in there drilling. Just this last day, I hit strength and conditioning. I'm just going to put on some size and muscle and just working out. I want to go southpaw a lot more, so I'm going to work on my southpaw and work on specific things, get back in the gi. But mainly just let this heal, bro, and do what I can around that,
Yeah, no, I hear you on that. When would you like to fight next? You kind of have that mapped out. You're going to enjoy the holiday season and then get right back in there, or what's sort of the plan?
Yeah, I want to get back in there as soon as possible. As soon as this heals and I'm cleared, I want to get back in there as soon as possible. I had a lot of fun out there. I want to keep the momentum going, and I feel like I learned a lot that fight, and I have a lot to work on and improve, and I feel like you put me back in there, I'm going to show improvements every time of the game. You'll see me improve,
Is there a particular card you want to fight on? I know a lot of the fighters want to fight on that Austin card. Is there anyone that kind of sticks out to you?
Honestly, no. Obviously, I love fighting in California. I always want to fight in California if possible. But other than that, Vegas, Other than that, I don't care where they send me. But those are the two places where I'd love to fight. And if they put me there, I'm going to be able to fill some seats up. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Is there anyone you want to fight next? Any opponents, or just going to leave that up to the UFC?
Not signed in the UFC. There's not anyone I want to fight. Not yet, at least. But, yeah, I don't really call people out unless we have a beef, And, yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Well, okay, you said in the UFC. What about outside the UFC? Is there anyone you'd like to see them bring in that you'd like to scrap with?
Yeah, honestly, we're eventually going to fight. I know it's fate. Just like when Albert Morales, when I got a concussion, we pulled out, I would say I know we're going to fight. We're going to end up fighting, whether it's in the region or in the UFC. And it's probably Ricky Simone.
I was just going to say, I literally was thinking of him because he won the title last night for LFA.
Yeah, at Legacy. And he's a stud. Good everywhere. He's a great fighter. But that's probably the guy, just because we have some beef. And it's not even nothing too personal. Just our camp said some things. He said some things, kind of cocky. And he's got a good style, and he's a good fighter. I think it's a good matchup. But I would kind of like to shut his camp's mouth and his mouth on some of the things they said.
If I can take a guess, because Ricky trains in Portland with Paige Van Zandt, is that sort of where it started? If I can take a guess on that.
We were supposed to fight a few times. One of the times at West Coast, and I ended up getting injured or sick. I think sick. I can't even remember, but something happened. I got out, and he was running his mouth. And then we were supposed to fight in Oroville the second time, and I got sick. So, I mean, it has been bad, and I can understand where some of the talk could come from, him saying I'm scared of him or ducking him, but this is me calling him out, so I respectfully call him out. I'm not a punk, I don't want to be like anything like that, but I understand how it can make it seem like I'm running from him or something, but I would like to show him in his camp that I'm not running, and not just that. I think it's a great matchup for me, and I see holes in his game, he's a tough dude. His way to beat me is going to be his wrestling. That's his best bet, if he could get me down. If he doesn't, then I think I'm going to knock him out, He ducks I think I'll time him running into a head kick or a knee. And I don't and I don't think he can hold me down. But I mean, we'll see. Yeah, he's a tough dude. He's one of the toughest dudes out there. He's close to being undefeated for a reason.
Well, there you go. See, Mick Maynard doesn't have to do anything. He can just kind of match you guys up, and it's already set. I mean, they just got to sign him, and whatever. It's all good. So you've done all the hard work for the UFC. They should be thanking you right now. So,
hey, gotta do what I can.
Exactly. Last question before I let you go. We got Christmas coming up very soon. Any plans for the holiday season that you can tell us here? You're going to be spending time with family?
Oh yeah, spending time with a lot of family. I can actually say something I'm gonna do today. So I just bought my grandma a 2010 Chevy Impala. She wanted one forever. It's not much, if I would have got the bonus like I was training for and wanting, I would have afforded a nicer car, but I just purchased that this morning, and it's nice, and I'm going to go give it to her in the next few hours for a Christmas present. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm so excited, bro. Like, there's nothing like giving to someone who's done everything for you, So that's what I'm spending some of my money on, and that's what I'm going to have a nice Christmas with my family, give them some nice gifts this year, and be able to do that for the first time in my life, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Benito, I'm very happy to see you get the win there last weekend, and congratulations. Just remind people where they can get a hold of you on social media, and if you have any sponsors or shout-outs, the floor is yours.
All right, sounds good, man. Yeah, my Twitter and Instagram handle is @savage_530. You can follow me on there. And my Facebook is Benito Golden Boy Lopez. I just changed that. And I want to give a shout out to all my sponsors in the 530 in Northern California who let me do this. They've been supporting me from day one, helping me do this full time as a 19, 8, 20, 21, So thank you guys for always having my back and supporting me. I love you guys. Thank you to my Oroville friends, family, and my grandma. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys soon.
What's up, Fight fans? If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to see even more interviews with your favorite UFC and Bellator fighters. We've also got coverage at events, including post-fight press conferences and media scrums. And if you like this video, check out the video to my right. It's worth your time.